Hello there. So I'm here to share my 7 techniques on how to become an effective communicator. Communication, as we all know, is a two-way process. Communication is both interaction as well as transaction. Communication has 3 different objectives that every communicator wants to achieve: information, persuasion, and motivation. Information is the most important thing which we usually do when we communicate with each other. We inform people or we take information from others. Information gives us a kind of certainty about our surroundings as well as about our environment. The second objective is persuasion. We communicate to persuade the other person, maybe to influence the other person or to change the behavior of someone or to change the opinion of someone. Persuasion is a different ballgame altogether because it requires emotion when you speak with the other person. Persuasion requires skillful communication. And the third objective is motivation. We communicate to motivate people. It's important for all of us to understand that if you want to motivate someone, you'll have to make that person feel positive about himself or herself. You can motivate people either by appreciating them or their work or by giving them recognition. Effective communication can not only take you ahead in your career but can also improve your relationship and can make you more productive. If you really want to build strong and long-standing relationships, it's very important to have effective communication in place. Effective communication is the soul of strong and long-standing relationships. I'm sure all of you will agree with me that great relationships is the only gift which we really require in life. And that is why if you want to build strong, great relationships, you need to be an effective communicator. Whether it is workplace or it is home setting, it is very important to have effective communication because effective communication will keep you away from any kind of misunderstandings, miscommunication or doubt. And most of the times, if you are an effective communicator, you will be able to solve most of the problems in life. So let's dive deeper into understanding the 7 techniques of how to become an effective communicator. So the first technique of becoming an effective communicator is clarity of thought. Clarity is the most essential element of effective communication. Effective communicators are very clear about what they want to say. They are clear about their message. When they communicate with the other person, their thought process goes in a logical sequence, and research shows that if your thought process is in a logical sequence, the listeners are able to understand it more because you are able to speak in a very structured manner. So if you want to be an effective communicator, clarity is the most important thing which you will have to keep in mind while communicating with the other person. Be clear about your message. What exactly you want to say, you should be very clear about that. If there is clarity in your message, the intention with which you are communicating with the other person will be fulfilled. A very good way of bringing clarity in your communication is being brief or use simple, short sentences. If you use simple and short sentences, it will be very easy for you to take ahead your message to your listeners. The second technique to be an effective communicator is brevity. Be brief. Effective communicators use brevity to bring clarity. It is important for all of us to be brief in our message when we are in a communication event, because when you are brief, you are to the point, you're precise, and you know what you want to say. If you're brief in your communication, you are sure to get a positive response from your listeners. Your communication should not be long and winding, but short and to the point. Winding communication is going to bore your listeners, is going to take away their interest from the communication. And that is why be brief in your communication. But at the same time, I would like to say that be aware. Don't be too short in your message. You should be able to deliver what you want to deliver, but in a brief and effective way. The third technique of being an effective communicator is be consistent. Effective communicators are consistent in their communication. They don't jump from one topic to another during a communication event. Whenever you are communicating with either one person or many people, it is important for you to stick to one topic at a time, talk about that topic, finish that topic, and then go to another topic. If you're going to be all over the place, you're going to confuse the listeners, and listeners will not be able to then connect your different thoughts. Your thoughts will be haywire. So use consistency in your speech. be consistent about one thought, one idea at a time, speak about that idea, and then move to another idea. The fourth technique to be an effective communicator is listen actively. As communication is a two-way process, you are not going to be the only one who will speak in conversation. Surely there will be another person also who would like to take his or her turn for speaking. Effective communicators are not just good speakers. Effective communicators are also good listeners. And that is why it is very important for effective communicators to be active listeners. If you want people to listen to you, you'll also have to listen to them. And that is why be present when someone is speaking. Give your undivided attention to the person with whom you are speaking. Be present when someone is communicating with you. Give a proper eye contact to the person who's speaking with you. Keep your phone away. Don't look at the watch. Don't peep on your computer screen. Don't look here and there. Don't play with your pen. In short, give your undivided attention to that person. Keep away from all the distractions while a person is communicating with you. So, be an active listener if you want to be an effective communicator. My fifth tip to be an effective communicator is to avoid cliches, jargons, and verbosity. Cliches are phrases or opinions which are worn out because of long use, or which are overused and it has lost its meaning. Examples of cliches are without further ado, slowly and steadily, last but not the least. Now these phrases have been used by speakers so many times over the years that now these phrases have become meaningless, and when you use some such kind of cliches, the listeners become very bored. They are not just annoyed but are irritated by continuous use of such kind of cliches. So if you want your listener to be interested in what you are speaking, it's better that you keep your cliches away from your communication and make your communication interesting with factual details. The second thing to avoid is the use of jargons. Jargon is specialized terminology which is used by people from a very specific field. For example, people from computer field will very easily use the words like domain or bandwidth or reboot or RAM while they are having a conversation with someone from their own field. But when they start using such kind of words with people who do not belong to their field, they are going to confuse the people who will listen to them, because these are specialized words which are used in a specific field. If you start using jargons in your day-to-day communication, you are not just going to confuse the listeners, but you are also going to take them away from your message. Lastly, one has to avoid verbosity. Verbosity is a quality possessed by people when they talk a lot but they say very less. That is, they use many words to express what they want to say, but these words are meaningless. They are only words and words, but there is no substance in what they are saying. And that is why when you are verbose in your speech, you might impress your audience, but you will not be able to express. And one has to keep in mind that when you communicate, you don't communicate to impress, but you communicate to express. And if you want to communicate to express yourself, it's always better to keep yourself away from verbosity. Use simpler words which will help you connect with the audience, with your listeners very well. So let me give you some examples of verbosity in our day-to-day speech. So instead of using and, you might use as well as, or instead of using now, you might use at this present moment in time, or you can always use although, but you might say in spite of the fact that, or you might also use the word later. Instead, a verbose speaker might use in the foreseeable future. So, keep cliches, jargons, and verbosity at bay if you really want to be an effective speaker. The sixth technique to be an effective communicator is be courteous. Show respect to your listeners. It is very important that in a communication event, both the listener and the speaker should show respect for each other. Be polite with your listener. Understand that the listener also might have his or her own feelings. There's no need for you to push your opinions on the listeners. If you are putting a certain ideology or an idea in front of the listeners, be very clear about it that it is your opinion. It is not necessary that the listener will also adhere to your opinion or will also agree with your opinion. So one has to be polite and courteous in communication. If you're courteous in your communication, the listener will also be courteous with you. And respecting each other in a communication event is of primary importance. And that is why be courteous, be polite, show respect to the other person in the communication, and then see how you become an effective communicator. The last technique of being an effective communicator is to learn pacing. Pacing is an essential element to learn if you want to be an effective communicator. You should know when to go slow, and you should also know when to pace up your speed. It is very important to have such a kind of variation in your speech, otherwise it becomes very monotonous. If you don't want your speech to be monotonous or drab, it's important that mix both these things together. Sometimes you can be slow, sometimes you can be fast. So when you are able to mix your pace together, you are also able to create interest in what you are speaking. If you go very slow in your speech, the listeners will keep waiting for the next word to fall off from your mouth. And whereas if you go very fast in your speech, the listeners will not be able to assimilate what you are trying to say. So that is why have a mixture of the pace. Have fast as well as slow pace in your speech, which will make your speech more interesting. And the listeners will be able to understand what you are trying to say, and at the same time will be also intently listening to you. But do remember, pacing requires practice. And that is why a very good idea to work on your pace is to listen to good pacers. You can listen to Barack Obama, you can listen to Steve Jobs, or you can also listen to Shashi Tharoor. These speakers are very good pacers. When you listen to their pace, you will be able to automatically acquire the pace in your day-to-day speech and then see how the magic happens. I'm sure after listening to all these 7 techniques, you will be able to become an effective speaker if you practice these 7 things on a day-to-day basis in your communication events. So practice and be an effective communicator.